Hey, Big Brother fans. All right, it is live eviction night. And guess what? Julie Chen is not going to be on our TV screen. She has been replaced for the first time ever on a live eviction episode. Let's talk about why Julie will not be there to greet either Kimo Apaka or Quinn Martin tonight after the live eviction, and who the ousted house guest will talk to instead. And also, we're going to break down the votes. So, for the first time since Big Brother launched in 2000, Julie is out sick on eviction night. The Chen bot woke up sick last Friday, September 6th, with a sore throat. She went to the doctor. Guess what? COVID-19. Julie said it was mild, her second time with the virus, and it's just fever and sore throat, but she cannot be on the set until she gets the all clear. So Jerry O'Connell is going to be filling in for her. If you do not know that name, he is a pal of Julie's from daytime chat show The Talk. I first remember seeing Jerry as the chunky kid in the movie Stand By Me, that Stephen King adapted story that's so good. Great movie if you've not seen it. I do think Jerry's a great choice to greet either Kimo or Quinn after the live eviction. Julie Chen joked that she hopes Jerry can fit into her dress and has a ball as the replacement host. And then she joked about her being sick, saying the Chen bot is human after all. Jerry O'Connell, for his part, is very excited to be the substitute teacher tonight. He's a huge fan of Big Brother, never misses an episode, watched Celebrity Big Brother also. He's talked extensively about his love of the game over the years on The Talk. So at least they got a knowledgeable and enthusiastic sub for sick Julie. And by the way, she actually has recovered, but she still can't come to work because she continues to test positive.
Hi guys, Jerry O'Connell here. I'm one of the hosts of The Talk, but tonight I'm going to be the substitute teacher for Big Brother. Julie Chen Moonves is a little under the weather. We love her. But first, Julie Chen Moonves is going to be on The Talk. We're so excited. It's going to be her big return to our show. We got an eviction tonight. Let's get to it.
So the big question now is who is going to get to meet Jerry O'Connell on a history-making eviction night that's going to send the first juror to the jury house. Of course, by history-making, I mean the first ever non-Julie hosted live eviction. All right, we've got Kimo and Quinn on the block and some waffling in the house on Wednesday. Probably going to be more of that today. The vote is not entirely locked down. While head of household Chelsie has been very adamant that she wants to avoid a split vote that will force her to break the tie, it might still come down to that. So people are finally starting to realize that if Kimo stays and Quinn is evicted, that leaves T-Kor, Kimo, and Rubina as a power trio with only duos and singles left in the house aside from them. Because we'd have those three, and then we've got Chelsie and Makensy in a little twosome, Leah and Angela in a little twosome. Cam is sort of free-ranging around to different people, but he would most likely stick with Chelsie and Makensy, but they are not a solid three-way voting block like Rubina, Kimo, and T-Kor are. The bottom line is nobody seems to actually want Quinn to go. Chelsie doesn't want him to go, but she thinks it'd be better for her game. The big problem is nobody likes how ride or die loyal he is to Leah, especially since she betrays him constantly. We all know she has been leading Quinn around by the nose all season long, and everyone's been telling him. And so they're a little frustrated, and they feel like saving him means saving Leah when they want her gone. So last night, Quinn had one-on-one talks looking for votes. That was after his funny little campaign skit where he dressed as a hobo begging for votes.
Spare votes. Spare votes to stay, please.
He had serious talks this time about staying, but check out our last video if you want to see it. It was very funny. And then on Wednesday, he went around talking to everybody, trying to gauge the temperature about voting to evict Kimo instead of him. With Rubina, because he knew there was no chance of getting her vote, Quinn made a big joke saying it'd be really funny if she voted to evict Kimo and they're there to be funny. And she laughed and told him, great pitch. He knew that was just a non-starter. Same thing with T-Kor. Quinn and Angela's talk was pretty interesting. Quinn says he knows that she's going to vote to evict him, so he just wanted to have a minute to say goodbye properly. And Angela told him that she does have an issue with voting to evict him and keeping Kimo in the house because of that power trio. And Quinn told her he would not target her if he stays. He said he would go after Rubina to break up the threesome. Angela asked him to promise that he would not nominate her if he stays. Quinn agreed, and he also agreed on Angela's request that he would get Leah to agree to not nominate her. So Angela is a possible vote for him. Cam talked to Quinn and said he's got no issues aside from Leah throwing Quinn under the bus all the time and him still sticking with her over everybody. But as we know, those ears under Quinn's pile of curly hair do not register any honest talk about Leah's many betrayals of him. He just can't hear it. Chelsie and Quinn had a talk. She kind of played dumb and said she doesn't know where the votes are going to land. She does have a good idea. And Quinn told Chelsie he's not upset that she nominated him. And like when he talked to Cam, Chelsie brought up Leah to Quinn and said, he might have the votes to make it a tiebreaker, but Leah is a problem. So Quinn told her if he stays and wins HOH, that he would let Chelsie choose who he renoms on veto night. I mean, that's an enticing deal. Quinn also talked to Leah, but of course he's confident he has her vote to stay. That should be solid. And Quinn's chat with Makensy was also about the numbers in the house and the power trio. And he said Kimo, Rubina, and T-Kor will always choose each other over anybody else, even people that they've made alliances with. And that's accurate. He offered Makensy that he would go up as a pawn in later weeks if needed, told her his targets are Angela, Rubina, and T-Kor. Makensy told Quinn she would like to keep him and she would see where the votes are going. And of course, she is reporting back to Chelsie every conversation that she's part of with him and everybody else. Kimo and Quinn had a very nice talk. They said emotional goodbyes to each other because they know no matter what, one of them is leaving. So they had this very sweet exchange. They made plans to stay in touch, see each other outside the game, all that good stuff. Angela had some advice for Kimo. She told him in his pre-vote speech to play up what a strong player Quinn is, and that's why he needs to go. And as we see, going into this vote, Leah is the anchor around Quinn's ankle, dragging him down in this vote. So that's just problematic. And 6 people are voting tonight. Let's count it off. 2 nominees, 1 HOH. None of them are voting the first round. Chelsie, Quinn, Kimo are out of it unless there's a tiebreaker, in which case Chelsie does get to vote. The other 2 are locked out. So the votes are in the hands of T-Kor, Rubina, Cam, Makensy, Angela, and Leah. Leah and Angela should vote to evict Kimo, but Angela might flip over to vote to evict Quinn if she thinks everybody else is voting that way and leaves Leah on her own. Rubina and T-Kor are definitely voting to evict Quinn and keep Kimo. Cam seems likely to vote to evict Quinn. Makensy may vote to evict Kimo. I think what we're going to see is either a tie vote with Chelsie deciding or a landslide 6-1 with Quinn only getting Leah's vote to save him. If Chelsie has to break a tie, I do think she would cave and vote to evict Quinn, although getting Kimo out might be better for her long game. She's told other people that keeping Kimo is better for her game, but her stories change depending on who she talks to. And you can do the math and see that Quinn is the better choice for her long term. And what's interesting is that the house guests that aren't part of the Power Three, all know that they need to break up this threesome, but voting Quinn out tonight diminishes their ability to make that happen, because all three of the power trio can play HOH this week. That is a solid block of opportunity. And if they keep Chelsie close, they can run the house and decide the course of the last half of the game. And Makensy and Cam and Leah and Angela could be handing that to them. So why not get Kimo out while he's sitting there on the block? Take Quinn out later. He will remain easy pickings for the rest of the game. They absolutely have the votes to do it in this order. So Makensy, Cam, and some others talk about their ideal boot order: Quinn, Kimo, then Leah. But Quinn has already had so many strikes against him, it just doesn't make any sense to evict him this week when they could cripple the power trio. In the end, though, it's likely going to be Jerry O'Connell talking to Quinn, whether it's a landslide or a tie vote. And if they do evict Quinn, I think that half the house has just decided they are going to lose this game. That's my opinion. Share yours, drop it in the comments, and come back soon for more live feeds, insights, and news.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.